Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to thank Chairman Ryan for his leadership on this critical and timely issue, and my colleague, Congressman Kind of Wisconsin, for 4 years of bipartisan efforts to encourage families to invest for their children's future. I rise today in support of H.R. 529, my legislation that reaffirms Congress's commitment to not only preserving, but strengthening, expanding, and modernizing 529 college savings plans. Currently, there are nearly 12 million 529 accounts open in all 50 states. Considering there were only 1 million accounts open in 2001, the growth and popularity of these accounts is truly remarkable and is still on an upward trajectory. The popularity of 529 accounts among American families is no mystery. Higher education across the country are rising at a pace that exceeds the rate of inflation, and folks are looking for ways to plan responsibly for the future. A 2014 Gallup poll of America's top financial concerns showed that among adults between the ages of 30 and 49, not having enough money to pay for your children's college is a top concern for families, trailing only retirement concerns. So it is natural that folks would turn toward 529 savings accounts. These accounts are easy to set up and use, and account holders can make a monthly contribution as small as $10 to invest for their children's future on a tax-deferred basis. 529 accounts today have an average balance of around $20,000, which will go a long way toward helping families offset college costs and helping students to begin their careers with a lighter debt burden. When the President proposed a plan in his 2016 budget to tax future distributions from 529 savings accounts, members on both sides of the aisle were appalled. His billion-dollar tax proposal on families saving for college would have completely eliminated the purpose of saving responsibly for higher education in the first place, and would have inevitably moved more students towards student loans and other sources of financial aid. We fundamentally disagree with the direction of the President's policy proposal, and instead we want to make 529 college saving plans more consumer-friendly and reflective of the realities faced by students today. This legislation will make computer purchases with 529 plans a qualified expense. Computers are an essential part of higher education, and the law should be updated to reflect that. A Pew Research Center report in 2011 found that a vast majority of undergraduate, graduate, and community college students use some sort of computer to participate in a college experience that now features online courses, classwork, and e-textbooks. I believe this is a common sense modernization measure. The bill will also remove distribution aggregation requirements, which are an outdated burden on 529 plan administrators and states. When 529 college savings plans were originated back in 1996, the funds were taxed before they were deposited into the account, and then taxed a second time when they were used to pay for higher education expenses. It made sense for plan administrators to aggregate accounts for beneficiaries with multiple 529 accounts in order to determine the taxable dollars dispersed among the accounts. However, the laws changed back in 2001 so that 529 savings are only taxed once now before they're put into the 529 account. The only taxable funds at disbursement are for non-qualified expenses. According to a GAO report from 2012, that has the most recent data on the topic, non-qualified distributions from 529 plans only made up 5.3% of total distributions in 2010. Because of the past changes to tax treatment of 529s, it no longer makes sense for plan administrators to aggregate these accounts for tax purposes. It represents an undue burden, which could potentially raise the administrative costs for operating these plans. This is why this legislation will remove these requirements. Finally, the bill will allow a student who receives a refund on any 529 qualified expenses to redeposit those funds into their 529 without penalty. Refunds of $529 could happen for any number of reasons. A student may withdraw from a certain course, may receive a scholarship offer, or other financial aid after their 529 plans have already been used, or may have to withdraw from school because of an illness. Whatever the reason, subjecting these funds to a penalty works against the spirit of 529 college savings plans, and this bill will correct that. These are sensible yet important improvements to 529 college savings plans that should receive resounding support from both sides of the aisle. As we continued our work in the House to empower hardworking families with bottom-up solutions, I urge my colleagues to support this passage of this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'll reserve the balance of my time.